If there's one word to describe Alaska with, it's huge. This is especially true for Katmai National Park, an expansive park in southeast Alaska with one of the largest concentrations of grizzly bears in the world, and over a dozen active volcanoes that have, quite literally, rocked the world. Our visit to this incredible place was an eye-opening experience that allowed us to get closer than ever before to these amazing creatures. But how close is too close when it comes to some of the biggest grizzlies in the world? Katmai isn't accessible by any road connected to the outside world, so everything arrives by boat or airplane, or in our case, a combination of both. We've just arrived in Brooks Camp, which will be our base during our time here. The first thing you have to do on arrival is attend a mandatory bear safety orientation. We finished our orientation and also seen our first bear, as a bear walked right by the window as the orientation was going on, just to drive home the points. There's plenty of hiking you can do around the Brooks Camp area to get some amazing views of the mountains and lakes nearby. Today we're hiking Dumpling Mountain, which should give us some views of the whole area around Brooks Camp. Of course, bear safety is extremely important, as the park has over 2,000 grizzlies, many of whom are the biggest in the world, besides moose and many other large mammals. Looks like we've got some fairly recent bear poop here. They're out there. Katmai is actually named after a volcano, and there are over a dozen active volcanoes inside the park. This unique volcanic landscape was the original reason this place became protected. There have been lots of volcanic eruptions here throughout history, but the most famous one happened in 1912, when a new volcano, called Navarupta, exploded in the biggest eruption of the 20th century, creating the Valley of 10,000 Smokes. Brooks Camp has a really popular campground, equipped with bear fencing and lockers for food. Despite this, bear encounters still happen. Getting a reservation is hard, but doable compared to the alternative of reserving a really expensive room in Brooks Lodge, which books out years in advance. Alright, so we decided to fill some extra time with a little bit of kayaking. It's beautiful out here on Naknek Lake, and you get to see the floatplanes landing as you're kayaking past. The weather is pretty calm today on Naknek Lake, but when it's more choppy, the planes land on the other side, on Brooks Lake. Of course, Brooks Camp is most famous as one of the best grizzly viewing destinations in the world, especially during salmon season at Brooks Falls. They have 4 different bear viewing platforms, where you can watch the bears as they fish for salmon by the falls. From the safety of the platforms, you can witness the spectacular wildlife viewing available here, while minimizing human impact on the bears. During certain weeks, bears visit the falls in large numbers, creating bear jams when park staff are forced to shut off access between the platforms and Brooks Camp while bears cross. We got to see bears on the beach, in the forest, by the falls, in the river, and by the visitor center. Getting to watch the grizzlies from this close was one of the main reasons we visited this spectacular place, and they did not disappoint. Thanks for joining us on our Katmai adventure. If you'd like to see another Alaskan cinematic adventure, check out our wilderness drop-off adventure in Glacier Bay, where we spent 24 hours hiking alone deep in the wilderness.